Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I am Mondo here today with Holmes, and on today's episode, we're going to talk NFL draft because we haven't done an episode in a while, and we got a lot to say about that. We're going to talk NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and then we'll get you guys out of here. Keep it short, sweet, simple. Holmes, we haven't been on in a while, buddy. How you been?
Dude, we just had so many different sports to consume. The playoffs have been going on for the NBA and the NHL. Obviously, as you mentioned, the draft was what feels like ages ago now, but so much controversy, of course, surrounding that. And baseball's been going on every day. I've been keeping up with a ton of different teams. So dude, it's just been so fun to watch. Gators baseball also. Since the Gators won the national championship in basketball, we are hot. We are
Talk to
making a
him.
push for the playoffs to keep Kevin O'Sullivan's streak of making the playoff alive.
We're going to do it too. It's going to happen.
I
We're
really
going to
hope
find
so.
a way. It's not
Yeah,
easy, but we're going to do it.
sure.
But yeah, let's get into the NFL draft, man. I know you and I were texting pretty much throughout the whole thing. A lot of it was kind of chalk with most of the picks. I mean, same with like our team picks, but there were a couple big things. And I think the biggest one that I know you want to talk about, Shedeur Sanders. What was a first round, arguably number one pick a month ago, was a fifth rounder in this NFL draft. Why is that, Holmes?
Listen, bro, we were, like you said, we were texting back and forth about this. All the pundits on ESPN were going crazy. Obviously, Mel Kiper was about to have an aneurysm. He was going so crazy after every pick because he kept falling and falling and falling. But I texted you this, man. I'm gonna try and just summarize what I texted you because I feel like I tried to encapsulate it perfectly. I'm gonna say what nobody wanted to say. He is flat out not what NFL teams were looking for at the quarterback position. Plain and simple. College football now is all about the NIL, the pay for play. How many eyes can you attract? How big can you make your brand, your persona? How many people can you attract to the program because of you and the money that you can make from that? The NFL has always been and will always be about winning. Nothing else. The money comes secondary because if you didn't know, the NFL is the richest league. Like in out of the big four, they have a ridiculous amount of money. They own all of the TV rights and ratings. They are like everywhere. So they don't have to worry about any of this branding or marketing or money. That's what college is for. When you come to the NFL, it's about bringing your team a championship to win, to build something great. Shedeur Sanders completed over 50% of his passes in college, either at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, or within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's such a big sample size of how short and how easy he was keeping a lot of his throws and reads. And even so, he was getting blasted because his offensive line at Colorado sucked. So I
Mm.
give him the credit for being able to make the plays that he did while getting swamped by defenses all the time. But you see the type of plays that they were running over 50% of the time. The NFL is not like that. If you come in like that, your offense will move nowhere. Your team will not be good. Your offense has to be explosive. You have to hit throws down the middle of the field. You have to be accurate and precise. It was so frustrating that it just kept turning into, oh man, it's collusion against the Sanders family. It's collusion against his race. Simply put, he was not the type of quarterback that the NFL was looking for. Plain and simple. That's as easy as I can put it.
Look, the most obvious thing to me, if Stephen A. Smith, Mel Kiper, and Skip Bayless are united on an issue, chances are the rest of America's on the other side of it, right? I mean,
Another
chances
wrong.
are like, and this is not to discredit Shador. I know he went in the fifth. I didn't think he'd be lower than a third round pick. I knew he wouldn't be a first rounder, but it's just like you look at the highlight tapes that they had on this guy, right? They were playing it all throughout the draft. It was always an underthrown ball or an incredible play by a receiver. Nothing in that highlight package that they kept showing was like, wow, look at Shedeur Sanders go. This guy's got it. And maybe he develops, and we're all wrong. At the end of the day, we've seen crazier happen. But when you talk about a prototypical QB build, he's got that in his physicality, but what he doesn't have is the arm for it. That's always been the thing. He doesn't have the arm. Colorado's designed for the short yardage, and the NFL is not like that anymore. The Saints tried it last with Michael Thomas. It didn't end up working. So it's tough for me to sit here and feel bad for Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, it sucks he fell to the fifth. He could have been a third rounder, but also he was being a jackass. A report came out today. Top 7 pick team. Won't say which one. Top 7 pick team goes, Shedeur, please look over this playbook. Come ready to the interview to talk about it. You know what? Shedeur did? He didn't fucking read it and then proceeded to talk about how the franchise should build around him. That's not a winner. That's not a leader. That's not someone I want on my team. So it's a no-brainer that teams were skipping out on him. It's nothing to do with race. It's nothing to do with Dion. It has everything to do with the fact that he's not the quarterback they need. He's not the leader they need, and he needs to figure his shit out. That's what it comes down to. I'm sick of the whole race baiting thing because it's not racial. It's not. Like, I hate that theory. The theory is Shedeur he was not in the right offensive scheme to be able to show himself off correctly. And on top of that, we know he has a bad attitude problem. That's what it comes down to. And I hate saying it. I love Shedeur at the beginning, but after these little pieces come out, it's tough to feel bad for the guy when he's sabotaging himself. It really is.
Absolutely. I'm with you, bro. I'm glad that you hit on the mental part about it because that was something that I didn't even cover. But of all the reports that we've heard coming out, like he did not do well in the interviews.
No.
Cam Newton, I heard him on an interview, maybe it was today, yesterday. He was saying he was like the type of attitude that Shedeur has, that translates really well to somebody that's a defensive back because you have to have that bravado. You have to have that confidence. Like you got to be the guy to go out there and shut down Justin Jefferson. You got to be the guy to go out there and shut down Jamar Chase and all the talented receivers in the league. You have to be the guy. That's not what they need at the quarterback position. They need a guy that's strong up here, that can make sound decisions, that can actually read what's going on and not have a bigger sense of himself because he thinks he is bigger than himself, bigger than the team, bigger than the organization. Have to be strong up here for the quarterback position.
Yeah, and I know people are going to come for us about this, but we're not hoping he fails.
No, not at all.
I'm hoping he learns from this. He grows. He becomes a leader. He becomes the face of the Browns. He proves all the doubters wrong. I hope that's what happens. But for everyone to say that we should be feeling bad about Shedeur going in the 5th round, if you look at the tape, if you hear about the interview stories, you knew without a doubt at the minimum he was not a first-round talent. You knew it. And I said he should have gone 3rd. He ended up going 5th. That shows you what the NFL thinks of not only him, but also the media. The media, like the NFL doesn't give a shit about what you think. And at the end of the day, they don't care. Mel Kiper can throw his hissy fit. The NFL is not going to give a fuck. Same with Stephen A. Same with Skip Bayless and the rest of them. The NFL doesn't care. Like you said, Holmes, they're about winning. That's all they care about. And if they feel that you're going to be a detriment to the team, why in the hell would they pick you? Plain and simple. Why would they pick you?
It's merely just a justification as to why he fell because there's too much bullshit out there about why he fell and why he didn't get picked in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. This is a justification for what it is.
Yeah, plain and simple.
I wish the guy the best. I was a fan of him with you at the beginning, and I think it's just over time, the attitude, the confidence has kind of lost me a little bit, and then I wish the best for the dude. I really do. Maybe, if he's out there, if he's able to go out there and actually win the job, like prove himself, more power to him, man. Like I'll root for you, but This is why he fell. We're laying it all out for you right now because
Yeah.
apparently nobody else will say it. Nobody on ESPN will say it. I'll tell you that much.
Nobody wants to say it. At the end of the day, we're cheering for him. We hope he plays well. We hope he gets the job. But it just the reaction to him falling and the shock is crazy.
And nuts.
Crazy. From one bad beat to two more bad beats, Holmes. Which team would you like to start with in the NBA playoffs? The Magic or the Heat? Let's get into it.
You know, uh, I guess we should just get the Heat out of the way.
Yeah. So just to keep it short and sweet, we got fucking curb stomped by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Absolutely depressing. Back to the drawing board. We need to land a whale in free agency or at least a trade this offseason because this team ain't it, man. They are not it. Terry Rozier needs to go. Like we need to flip plenty of pieces, and it doesn't help. Tyler Hero got 3 fucking points trying to show out in the playoffs. That destroyed his trade value. So, um, yeah, not happy as a Heat fan. I love that we don't tank. I also hate that we keep running it back with the same team at this point because it. This is just. I'll give them benefit of the doubt. This was a cursed season. Everything about it was terrible. We sneak into the playoffs, become the first 10 seed to do it, and it fell apart. The Cavs are unbelievable. Like I don't really have much else for that.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. It just felt quick. Like every game, man, they were just getting their ass beat. The Cavs were all over them. They're 100% the better team. And going right over to the Magic and the Celtics series, it's literally the same
Yeah.
thing here. I mean, the Celtics are so much better than the Magic right now. They are, in my opinion, the best team in the league. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so hard to just stop them from scoring because they have so many talented scorers on that team. And oh yeah, most of those guys can play pretty damn good defense on the other side too. The Magic are just they're a talented team, man. They're just young and they're just not ready for this type of moment yet against a team like this. I mean, dude, the Celtics went 61 and 21. The Magic ended up 500. It's just kind of a difference in between the skill level, the talent that's going on right now. The Magic are probably maybe like a big or two smaller-ish pieces away from really being a good contender. I mean, right now it just feels like it's Paulo, it's Franz that are carrying most of the load. Some guys sprinkled here and there will come in different roles and make it work, but they're a very defensively sound team. But in terms of scoring, man, they just really are going to need more on the offensive side. Somebody that can provide even more of a spark when they need it, so that just not Bankero and Wagner are,
Mm-hmm.
carrying them the entire way.
Yeah, I mean, we look elsewhere in the league. Pacers sneak it out against the Bucks, beat them by one to close out the series. I don't think many people saw that coming. Giannis probably on his way out of Milwaukee. So, episode coming up, we'll talk trade destinations, but Thunder took care of business pretty handily against the Grizzlies, and then probably the biggest thing, the Timberwolves. Holmes. Timberwolves upset the Lakers. What do we think of that?
I mean, honestly, I am not too surprised by it, really. I just think there's always so much hype and so much stock that goes into these Laker teams every year that get into the playoffs. Like, I understand that they were the 3 seed. They looked a lot better in the regular season when they got Luka Doncic, but it's kind of the thing everybody's been saying. They've needed this for a while. Even when they did have AD, they needed a center. They needed
Yeah.
somebody that could actually play the five. Anthony Davis was weird about playing the five. I don't know why, but they needed somebody truly to be there, be a center for that team. And they don't really have that. Somebody they've really been missing. I mean, you can see that they were just getting absolutely bodied up by
Mm-hmm.
Gobert, Randall. Obviously, Edwards had a fantastic series. This dude is just looking like the new face of the league every day that
Yep.
passes by. But you just got to hand it to the Timberwolves, man. They made a really bold move at the beginning of the season, trading Cat and getting Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle back to kind of use as these secondary pieces to build around Ant. And I think at the time they were wondering, man, what is trade away your guy you've had, forever. Really, like that's kind of an interesting move
Mhm.
right before the season. And so far, I think you have to say it's been working out well for him.
Yeah, honestly, it's great. And back to the Lakers, like I said it when the trade happened. I said, the Lakers will put up 120 a game, no problem. Problem is they'll still lose by 20 because they can't play defense. So
Yeah,
not having that rim protector, it's gonna kill him. And sure as shit, it killed him.
yeah,
It was not surprising at all. I don't know what the future holds for LeBron. I don't know what the future holds for the rest of that team. But if I'm Rob Pelinka, it's getting down to decision time.
mhm,
And I think you got to start with Luka. You say, Luka, LeBron's out 2 years max. Two years max.
yeah,
We need you to prove to us that you deserve the keys to the castle or keys to the kingdom, whatever the hell it is. You got to prove it to us because Luka looks sloppy. He looks out of shape. And that's not saying LeBron looked any better. LeBron looked like he was 43 last night. So it's just like the Lakers can't seem to put it together because none of it adds up. None of it. It doesn't. Their whole formula does not work with the way they play. It just doesn't, and it won't unless they get the big man. That's all they need to do.
yeah. Offseason is going to be key for them. See if they can make an addition or two, and honestly, just give Luca just some time to rest, man. I mean, I can't believe what this guy's been through this season with this
Mm-hmm.
massive trade that happens in the middle of the season. He goes away from a franchise he literally thought he was going to spend his whole career with, bought a house in Dallas. I mean, that shook up that dude's whole world. And I think
Yeah.
he did say in an interview a little while ago, like I think it was after last night's game. He's like, I'm tired, man. Like I'm exhausted. It's been a long road, and I get it, dude. That must have been a whirlwind of emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, for that guy, he probably still hasn't even processed all of it yet.
No.
He got thrown right into the fire. He was playing with the Lakers within a week, I think, of the trade. So this offseason is definitely going to be key for him to just take some time, relax, understand his new role, his new position with the Lakers. And
Mm-hmm.
if they're able to put some good pieces around him and Braun, maybe next year they can make a better run.
Yeah. 3 players to watch this offseason. Watch KD.
Mhm.
KD's going to want out of Phoenix, guaranteed.
For
Watch
sure.
for that. Giannis, not 100% certain, but I think Giannis is out of Milwaukee. And then number 3, watch for LeBron. Not necessarily for him to go anywhere, but see what pieces he tries to bring into LA. Those are the big 3 to watch this offseason because they are going to predict what the entire rest of the offseason looks like.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to watch. And speaking of something that was fun to watch, let's swing it over to the NHL, shall we, Holmes?
You do it, bro.
My Florida Panthers take down your Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm not going to rub it in your face because you're not Gary, and I wouldn't do that to you. But what are the thoughts coming out of this series? I heard a lot coming from Lightning fans throughout the past couple days. So I'm curious kind of how you're feeling, what the plan is moving forward.
I mean, honestly, bro, first off, gotta be a good fan, good sport of the game. Good on the Panthers, man. They
Mm-hmm.
got it done. They got the dub, so they're moving on. There's not much else you can say about that. It's just all about got to be a good sport about it at the end of the day. And hockey, they're one of the best sports with that, doing the handshake line at the end of every series. Both of
Yep.
the teams congratulating each other on a hard fought season. So really appreciate that first and foremost. Second thing, it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch all series. The Lightning just, and I say this like knowing as a true Lightning fan, you kind of have to really appreciate what the Panthers are doing right now because it's literally what the Lightning tried to do 4, 5, 6 years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when we were having guys like Barclay Goodrow, Corey Perry, Pat Maroon, Mikhail Sergachev on the team, these were all guys that were looking to throw the body around, get in people's faces, but also have the skill to be able to make plays happen when they needed them to happen. That's
Yep.
exactly what the Panthers have been doing. You got to give a ton of credit to what's Barry Zito, I think is his name, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that guy has put together a very intimidating squad. He really has. All of these guys are doing exactly what I just said. They're getting under people's skin. They're being very physical, making the game so physical to the point where it's uncomfortable for the other team. And then right when you need it most, nice pass, nice shot, nice hit, anything, they make it happen and they're able to get the timely goals. They're able to get ahead and stay ahead because of the style that they play with. At times it can be reckless and they're going to find themselves in the penalty box a lot. But I think you saw in this series, their penalty kill was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay coming into the series, they had the number one power play in the season. They were the number one goal scoring team this season. They were going crazy in the regular season in really a fashion that I haven't seen in a few years.
Mhm.
But coming into the playoffs, man, they hit a brick wall. And the
Yeah.
brick wall was the Panthers' penalty kill. I mean, you have to give them a ton of credit. We could not even enter the zone to get any shots off during the power play. We were dreadful. But to have that type of physicality on the penalty kill, they were talking about it during the broadcast. John Cooper, the head coach of the Lightning, said, I would much rather have a 100% locked in penalty kill than a power play that's clicking. Because that penalty kill, as you just saw, won them that series 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at it, fucking Bill Zito brought in
Bill Zito.
scrappy. Yeah. I didn't want to correct you. You were flowing.
You're good.
Um,
You're good.
I mean, he brought in scrappy players who will outshoot any team in the league. And if they're not shooting well, they're going to beat the shit out of any team in the league. So it's been a fun watch. Obviously, we get our best player back after 2 months of rest. Perfect timing. It looks like as of now, we could play Toronto. They're playing right now. And they're currently up 3-2. I don't know. They could just be cursed. We'll see. But it's fun to watch, man. It's a good time. Love the Panthers. Love what they're doing. But yeah, also around the league, like Capitals smoked the Canadians. The Canes beat the Devils. Sorry to Frank the Tank, good friend of the program. Sorry, Frank. But yeah, it's still early in the playoffs. Obviously, it started a little bit later than the NBA did. So I mean, shit, man. All we know about hockey, they're gonna battle.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they play, they're gonna battle, and that's why it's so much fun to watch. And honestly, that's why I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like just
Me too.
watching them battle.
Yeah. Playoff hockey's awesome, man. Even though my team's out, I mean, I got the Maple Leafs and Senators on right now. I'm going to be locked
Yeah.
in for the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs. These are some of the best playoffs to watch. The intensity, the skill, the physicality, as we just saw for the past 5 games. I mean, this is what these dudes live and die for every single day. They put it all out there on the ice, and it's so much fun to watch. I'm definitely locked in on this Leafs and Senators series because, like you, I just want to see if the Leafs continue to be cursed, man. I hate the Maple Leafs so much, and I would love to see the Senators come back from, I think it was a 3-0 deficit. Like they've won two straight to come back and
Yeah.
make this 3-2. So, God, if they were to come back and win four
Oh, it would
straight,
be poetic.
poetic.
Absolutely
It would be
poetic.
awesome. It would be awesome. But for the Panthers, who that would they would have some crazy momentum coming into that next round, I am sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were the Panthers, I'd probably want to see the Maple Leafs in the next round, just because I definitely don't have any confidence in them to be able to get a series over the Panthers. 7 games, I do not think that they have the skill to outperform them. I think the physicality is not even going to be close to what it was in this past series, at least from a Maple Leaf standpoint. Um, but it's awesome to watch that one. I loved the other two in the Eastern Conference too. Capitals and Canadians. That was just a good story because OV
Yeah.
man, if the Capitals are able to go on and win the Stanley Cup this year, that story is going to be told for centuries. When
That's
this
gonna be
guy
unreal.
broke Gretzky's record and then won the cup in the same year, I mean, that's going to be crazy. But they got to get past the Carolina Hurricanes first, and that is a damn good team.
Yeah.
Honestly, in the Western Conference, like that shit is just so muddled up over there. I have not been as locked into them as I have been on the
Yeah,
East.
I'll run through them real quick for you. So the Jets are up 3-2 on the Blues. The Stars are up 3-2 on the Avalanche. Knights up 3-2 on the Wild. Kings down 3-2 against the Oilers. So I mean, every team's playing hard in the West. Like that, no team is a clear favorite at this point. If I were picking, I'd say Jets, Avalanche, Golden Knights, and Oilers. I think that would be my four coming out of the West. But again, we've seen crazier things happen in hockey. It's not a surprise to anybody.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think the Golden Knights and the Wild series for me, man, that doesn't really draw a lot of interest for me. I just
Mm-mm.
the Knights have been a wagon ever since they've been a franchise. It's just I just always expect them to be good. The Stars a little bit because I know they're getting healthier, and the Avalanche again. We always find them in the playoffs as well. They're always a very talented team, but the Stars
Yeah.
are getting a lot healthier, playing better puck. I wonder if they'll be able to advance to the next round and hopefully get back to the Stanley Cup for the first time since the Lightning beat them. The Jets is an interesting storyline against the Blues. I know they're up 3-2, I guess you said in the series, but they were the President's Cup
Yep.
winner in the regular season, which in hockey that means you got the most wins in the regular season. But unfortunately, this trophy is kind of cursed because whoever gets this in the regular season, when they get to the playoffs, they almost never win the Stanley
Yep.
Cup. It rarely happens. Don't know what it is about the curse of that trophy, but we're gonna have to see if the Jets are going to be the one to break that. And then the Kings and the Oilers, man. I haven't watched anything about this series, but I've heard a lot about it. I've heard that the Kings are playing like incredible hockey, but Edmonton is just like they're lockstep with them. And every little mistake that the Kings make, Edmonton capitalizes, and the Kings just like lose it. So I'm really interested to see how that one's going to go. The Kings have been like unstoppable at home this year. So is McDavid able to upset him and move on to the second round? That guy's still searching for a cup. There's a lot of intrigue over there in the West, but like I said, man, the East is where I find the bread and butter. Those are the teams that we
Yep.
know the best, that we play the most. That's the side that I love watching.
I don't blame you. Um, Last thing, just to touch on our hiatus from picks on Twitter. I just needed a break. I just needed a break from betting for a little bit. I put my first bet down since the Natty last night. Ended up cashing it. So the picks will come back soon, but your boy just needed some time.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I'll be joining you with that too. I knew I was trying to be really locked in on college baseball this year, and I have not been at all. I've only been watching the Gators, and that's even sporadically. There's so much stuff going on. I have not been anywhere near as locked as I want. But hopefully, when the regionals, super regionals, World Series in Omaha comes around, we're going to be a little bit more locked in because we'll be
Yeah.
watching these teams a lot closer. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs as they keep going on. The dog days of summer, we'll be trying to bet a ton of MLB and getting back into that as we await the favorite time of the year, of course, football season, brother.
Yes, sir. We'll make it through. We're almost there.
Almost there.
All
And
right, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone.